morning. Happy Arbor Day. Does everybody know what Arbor Day is?
Yeah.
What is Arbor Day?
Tree day.
It's Arbor, yes, Arbor is kind of a tree. Arbor Day is when we celebrate trees. Why would we celebrate trees? Yes.
Because they give us healthy oxygen.
I should probably be passing this around. Yes, they give us healthy oxygen. What else do trees do for us? Yes.
They give us food.
Give us food. They do. They do produce food for us. What else do they do? Come on, right over here.
They give us wood so we can build houses and that sort of stuff.
They do. They provide us with a lot of products for building shelters. A couple other things. All right. Yep.
They give us the roots give us water. Technically, go to the river and we get water from it, kind of.
Yes, you're hitting on a very important part. She said that the roots will take in the water and hit the water. It's something that is very important for Oshkosh, seeing as how we like to have our streets hold a lot of water. What happens is the roots will suck in and absorb a lot of that water so that we don't flood as much. It also purifies it before it goes into our lakes and our streams. So those are just some of the amazing things that trees do, why we celebrate trees. So with me today, we have a few wonderful people. We have Tracy Salisbury from the Wisconsin DNR. Ray Maurer is the City of Oshkosh Parks Director. He oversees all the parks and all the green spaces. Andy is part of the Oshkosh Media and is part of our Oshkosh Parks. And Matt is from WPS, which gives us all power. It's one of the power companies. So with that, and come on in, Melissa. We also have Melissa, who will be talking to you a little bit about planting trees in the right place, the right tree, a little bit later when we actually go and plant some trees. So with that, we'll have Tracy come up, and she has a few awards that she'll be handing out.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me here today. My name is Tracy Salisbury, and I'm an urban forester. Does anybody have any idea what an urban forester does? Yes, you in the red.
I'm guessing they probably explore forests and stuff.
Yep, forests, and where are they located? Would they be out in, a ways away or somewhere closer? Yep.
Somewhere
Urban. So would that be in a city? Actually, it is. So if you look outside, see all those trees? Those are the kind of trees I work with. I don't work out in the woods. I work with trees in the city. And trees in the city are really, really important. So I've got a special award for the city of Oshkosh. So who's going to accept from the city? Great. And then I need the teachers to select 2 students to help us hold the flag. We'll have more opportunities because I've got 3 flags. So. Okay. So we'll have you guys unfurl the flag and make sure we got it the right way. So if you hold that, and does that look right? Is it the right side? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can hold that. Okay. So, on behalf of the Arbor Day Foundation and the Wisconsin DNR, I'm honored to present the City of Oshkosh with their 2022 Tree City USA Award. Now, Oshkosh has been a tree city for 42 years. That's a really long time, so congratulations. That's awesome. To become a tree city, Oshkosh has to do 4 things. The first is to have a forestry program. The second is to spend $2 per person in the city on their tree program. The third is to have an ordinance, which is a law that protects the trees within the community. And the fourth is to have an Arbor Day celebration and proclamation read. So by you guys being here today and going and planting a tree, you're actually helping the city get their award for next year. So give yourselves a hand. That's pretty cool. So again, congratulations to the city of Oshkosh. And here's to another 42 years. Congratulations. Yep, thank you. And I'll have you just take that one. So now we will present to WPS, Wisconsin Public Service. And then we'll need some more students to help with the flags. Okay. I'm going to slide over here. Do we have it the right way? I think so. That looks good. Okay, award is called Tree Line USA. And Wisconsin Public Service, or WPS, has been a tree line for 28 years. So on behalf of the National Arbor Day Foundation and the Wisconsin DNR, I'm honored to present WPS with their, and it's kind of weird because the years are off, but the 2023 Tree Line USA Award. So just like the city has to meet requirements, so does the utility company. And it's pretty stringent. It's pretty strict. They've got to do some pretty big things to get this award. And things like learning how, having staff training for how, learning how to prune trees properly, doing public education, and providing money for community trees. And I know there's a couple more, but they're escaping me right now. So WPS has done those things for the last, 28 years. And I just want to say congratulations and keep up the good work. Yep. I'll have you do it. And we.
All right, so there is one more award that needs to be done, but like Tracy was saying, in order to make this all official, we need a proclamation read. So now, if I remember correctly, there are a few students that are going to help me out with this, correct? Perfect. So who is the first student? Who's reading the very first? All right. Ken Scott, he's right there.
Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees and...
Oh boy. All right. And...
This holiday called Arbor Day was the first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska and...
Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world and...
So Arbor Day is now observed.
Trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind, water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife.
And...
Trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and...
Whereas trees in our city increase property values and change the economic vitality in business areas and beautify our community and...
Sorry.
Trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spirits renewal.
Me first.
Oshkosh has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for the 42nd conclusive year.
Consecutive year. And the line of the mayor. Ray, you want to take that one?
What about me?
Next.
So
Now, therefore, Matt Mugerower, who is the mayor of the city of Oshkosh, does hereby proclaim Friday, April 28th, 2023, as Arbor Day in the city of Oshkosh, and urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated April 28th, 2023, Matt Mugerower, mayor.
all right, we're now official. It is an Arbor Day celebration. We can now get our Tree City USA next year. With that, also now, yes. And UWO is here. Thank you, Tracy.
Can we have 3 more students, please?
Oliver, come on.
All right, Larry, so I lied. I do need you to do something today. Read that last sentence. Oh.
This kid would have done.
There we go. Okay, this is my third and final award presentation, and this is for something called Tree Campus USA. And I'm honored to present this to UW Oshkosh, and this is their 13th year as a tree campus. And what's really cool is all of the UW Oshkosh campuses are tree campus or tree line. I've done too many awards today. Tree campus have qualified for this award. So Oshkosh, I've got these all mixed up. Fond du Lac, Fox Cities, yes. So that's pretty awesome. Let's give them a hand for that, because I don't think there's anybody else in the UW system that has all their campuses, Tree Campus USA. So, on behalf of the Arbor Day Foundation and the Wisconsin DNR, I'm honored to present UW Oshkosh with your Tree Campus USA Award for 2022. And UW Oshkosh has done a number of things to qualify for Tree Campus. The first is to have a committee made up of students and faculty that plan events on campus to qualify for Tree Campus. They have to have a management plan for the trees on the campus, and I know I'm forgetting some. They have to do an Arbor Day celebration. And yeah, and then they have to do a student project also. So you've done that for 13 years, so congratulations and keep up the good work.
All right. Well, thank you, Tracy, for handing out those wonderful awards. So, I don't know if any of you like going outside. Yes? Yes? All right. So, before we go outside, does anybody have any questions about anything that has to do with trees? Yes. Oh, hold on. Let's.
So, what are we actually gonna do, though?
We are actually going to go out, and as long as it's okay with your teachers, you guys, a select few of you, get to help plant some trees today. How does that sound? Yeah. Does that sound like fun? All right. Any other questions? Yes.
What's your favorite tree?
Come on, you should know better than to ask Forrest's favorite tree. Actually, we're going to be planting one of my favorite trees, a musclewood, or Carpinus carolinea, which is a Wisconsin native. It's beautiful. It has very fine textured bark. It looks like mussels, and it has awesome fall color. Also, yeah, ginkgos, oaks, all those good ones, yes, but... Sorry. Yes?
Are frogs gonna live in the tree?
Frog, maybe. It's a tree frog may find it as a home. They do like to live in trees.
Do you have to like ask the police for the right to plant a tree or no?
You do not have to ask the police for the right to plant a tree in your yard. It gets a little different in the terraces. That's where I come in. But no, you don't have to ask the police.
How long does it take for a tree to grow?
It depends on how big you want it to get. Some trees, like oaks, grow for hundreds and hundreds of years. So, and I'm sorry, I should have asked this earlier. Can everybody hear all these questions? Not at all. All right. Sorry. So he asked how long it takes for trees to grow. And the answer to that is continually. So like I said, some oaks will grow for hundreds and hundreds of years. Some trees have a little bit faster lifespan of 30-ish. But
How long will ours take to grow?
how long will the one that we're going to plant today? How long will the tree that we are planting today grow? Hopefully for many, many years. The trees don't have a finite lifespan, really. They'll grow as long as the conditions are favorable for them to grow. And yes, sir.
What's the rarest tree in the world?
The rarest tree in the world. Maybe Tracy can help me out with this one.
That's a tough one.
Box elders.
I mean, ginkgo is very old, but I don't know, like,
A rare
I'm not sure. That stumped us.
bristlecone pine.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is an excellent question. That would be a good one to research.
He's a good researcher, so we'll have him.
Perfect. All right, we'll take a few more questions, then we will get ready here. Yes.
Do you know about team trees?
Do I know about team trees? I do not know about team trees.
It's where this one YouTuber donates. When somebody donates $1, that means one tree.
Interesting. Apparently, team trees is where a YouTuber, when somebody donates $1, they will plant a tree. That is an awesome cause. Any other questions? All right, with that, let's talk with your teachers, get ready to go, and we're going to take a short walk down the road to Garden Club Park and plant some trees. Does that sound all right? Are you guys excited? Maybe back a little bit, kind of towards the sidewalk.
Back up a little bit.
All right. I know everybody is super excited. You get to be outside. We get to plant trees. It's great. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have somebody from the Oshkosh Garden Club come out and just say a few words. This is Oshkosh Garden Club Park. Their club has been around for 50 years. It's their 50th year anniversary. So Deb, if you'd like to come out and...
If I could press the water here through. All right, and make sure I don't fall into the pit. Okay, so actually our Oshkosh Garden Club has been around since 1966. And this park was donated because the lot is big enough for a house, but they can't dig deep enough. So in 1969, there were 10 cherry trees that were planted here. They're not around anymore. In 1973, which is 50 years ago, the Oshkosh Common Council formally named the park Oshkosh Garden Club Park, okay? And then at that time, there were more trees planted, 12 pine trees and 5 arborvitaes. And then in 1973, two of our members who are standing back here, Betsy Fox and Barbara Presley, planted some trees, 6 snowdrift crab apples, 6 radiant crabs, 4 arborvitaes, 2 junipers, and 2 potentallas. At that time, there were 20 trees planted, and the total cost was $185. Yeah. Yeah, 20 trees. Can you imagine that? So then last summer, we had a garden club meeting at one of our members, Luann, who's back here. And the garden club members were Googling in where exactly her house was. And up popped a Google map that said this was Garden Club Park. Well, none of us really had remembered that we weren't all here 50 years ago. So we checked into it and found out that, yeah, this was named Garden Club Park 50 years ago. So I want to just call out our members. Raise your hands. Not all of them are here, but we're all a group of about 36 people who do our best to beautify Oshkosh. And today we're planting a musclewood tree. And then WPS is also donating a redbud tree. So I hope you guys, this is your neighborhood. So this is probably where you guys play and get together. Take care of it. You know, if you see paper or if you see any kind of garbage around, pick it up. Throw it in the garbage can, okay? And then just remember, 50 years from now, you could be looking at this park and seeing more trees here, okay? So today I hope that I see that there's a little surprise for all you guys. Plant your trees and watch over them and nurture them. And that's about all I have to say.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you, Deb. So, like Deb was alluding to, the city of Oshkosh relies heavily on community involvement for beautifying a lot of our green spaces. So we definitely welcome partnerships in that area. And it's hopefully a lot of you young kids, as you grow older, will step into that role and continue to help give back and to help, plant trees and beautify the city of Oshkosh. So now we're actually going to get into the down and dirty of Arbor Day and plant the tree. So I have 2 of my arborists over here, Adam and Kyle. They're going to help me out with this. Well, they're actually going to help you guys out with this. So what we're going to do first, they're going to kind of run through it, run how to properly plant a tree when you get it from the nursery. So this is typically how you'll get it from, like, say, McKay or Steins or one of the other local nurseries or wherever you would get it from. Usually it's in transport, it's bundled up to try and save it from wind damage, from drying out while you're transporting it from the nursery to wherever you're going to plant it. There's a few different varieties that it can come in. This is a balled and burlap. So what they do is they take a big chunk of the soil out and then they wrap burlap over it to try and keep the moisture in and to keep all the dirt and the soil intact and together to save and protect the roots. There's also some that would come in plastic containers that look like this. So it's basically the same thing. They would take it out of the earth and put it into the pot so that everything stays together while you're transporting it. One other way that they do it is called bare root, which, like the name suggests, they take it out of the ground, they wash all the dirt off of it, they keep it moist, but it's, yes, right like this. This would be considered a bare root planting where you can see all the fibrous roots and all the other roots, and it makes it a lot easier because obviously this would be a heck of a lot lighter than transporting that. So, and you're also able to see and plant it at proper planting depth. So since I have this wonderful example here, so we're jumping ahead a little bit, but so with this, if I were to plant this in the ground, where should I fill it up to? How deep should I put this tree into the ground? Should I put it this deep? No. Should I put it this deep? No. How about this deep? No? Little down?
Just where the tree starts to grow.
Just where that?
Right.
So right here?
Yeah.
That would be correct. You want to plant it right where that first root comes out. You want it right at grade. And so maybe a little bit of soil on top of it. But that is where the tree naturally wants to grow. And even with this one, well, this one looks all right. Sometimes with the nurseries, what will happen is they have what's called whips, and they'll plant it 2 or 3 times, and you get an extra couple of inches piled on top of the original root system, so it sends out adventitious roots, and so you just have to go off of them. But the tree wants the nice healthy root flare. If you see trees that come straight out of the ground and there's no taper to it, they're buried too deep, and the tree's gonna struggle. Sorry. Thank you. So that's what these guys are doing now, is they're trying to find that root flare, which I think they just found. This one actually wasn't too bad. So here, let's stand it up once. So as you can see, there's the first root that comes out is right here. That's where we want to plant this at. So what they're going to do is they're going to use their highly scientific measuring device called a shovel. Get a quick measurement. Make sure that the hole is deep enough. So what they did is, after they took off all of the rope and anything that was around the upper crown, securing it during transport, typically sometimes there'll be little ribbons or species tags on it. Take all of that stuff off. And then, work your way down there. There was some trunk wrap on it. Depending on where you live and what season it is, leaving trunk wrap on isn't a bad idea. It's just for deer and other rodents. But then they work down, and now typically we like to take all of the ball or all of the burlap and the wire basket off. That's not always possible. Sometimes you need to leave it on to get it into the planting hole. In that case, what you would do is cut as much of it off as you can. Try and at least get down 8 to 10 inches and cut the basket off there, and the burlap, if you can't cut it off, at least bend it over into the hole so that it's not going to bind on the roots as they grow out. So then, once you get that and you have it to this stage, if you guys want to gingerly move that into the hole.
Yeah, now you just roll it in, but Travis was saying it's nice and easy.
Yep. So once it's in the hole, you want to check, make sure it's at the right planting height, which these guys are good. It is. So hold on. Now we need, let's see. I'm going to ask for the teacher's help on this one. See if you, well, let's see. Think of a number between 1 and 15 and pick the two closest kids.
So like
You think of a number between 1 and 15.
Okay, I've got one.
All right. What's your number? 10.
No, your number is 27. No. Are they thinking of a number between 1 and 10, or are they thinking of their class?
No, they're trying to get your.
Oh, then okay. I see. I was got confused.
I'm sorry.
I got you. I've got my
So
number.
yes, you got your
And
number.
It's not that.
All right, the two closest. So think of a number between 1 and 15. Yep. 15? 13. Yep, you. 10? 6?
Wait, how many people do you need? All right.
8.
Wait, Mr. Kruger, he only needs. Yeah, but he only needs 2 people.
Oh, okay, then we're set.
So then, mine.
Perfect.
So then Mason, because my number was 7.
Yeah, mine was 7.
I was going to guess 7.
All right. All right, so we got a couple of kids. All right. Put them to work. All right, so what you're gonna do is just give them a little hand here. So take a little bit of dirt.
And then just fill it around the...
And just take it and just kind of dump it right in there.
Along the edge?
All the way around. And actually, if you want to help, why don't we form a line right here? All right, and so what we'll do is, why don't we each take 2 scoops, put it in, and then hand it off, all right? So you good? Next. So what they're doing now is they're trying to take all that dirt and I shouldn't say compact it, trying to fill it in and get rid of as many of the little air pockets as they can. What's one thing that you think trees need in order to survive?
Water.
Just yell it out. Water. Water. Sun. Yep, the definite sun and soil. All right, so thankfully today we have some sun, we have some soil. Now we need some water.
Why won't they give the tree acid?
So after all that work of running around and getting transported, this tree is thirsty. It needs a good drink. What is all this stuff? Anybody know? Just yell it out, that's fine. Mulch. Why would mulch help the tree grow? Anyone have any idea? Yes. Because it's other wood? Yep. So, oops. And real quick, what they're doing now is they're just checking to make sure that it's up straight. We don't want to put a tree in with a lean right away and just destine it for horrible things. So we try and get it straight. Now back to the mulch. So what we want to do is we want to try and recreate a forest setting as much as possible. So when you guys go out into the woods, has anybody been out into the woods, into a forest?
My cousin's house.
Perfect. So how many of you have seen long strips of turf grass in the woods? In a forest? You've seen that? Really? I need to go to those woods because I have never seen long strips of turf grass growing in the forest areas. Typically, when you walk into the woods, it's a lot of either bare dirt, some ground covers of sorts, ferns and other little forbs, or there's a lot of leaf litter and dead sticks and logs and everything else that's decaying. So that's what we do with mulch. Mulch turns into those dead sticks, a replacement for the dead sticks, the dead leaves, all the things that will decompose and put nutrients back into the urban soils. It also helps to with soil temperature, so it keeps the area around the tree a little bit cooler in the summer and a little bit warmer in the winter, helping to maintain a consistent soil temperature. And then among all the other things that it does, it also helps to hold moisture. So when it does rain, all the wood chips will soak up some of that water, and then after it stops raining, it'll slowly release it back into the soil, giving the tree an extended drink instead of just a real quick sip. So what they're gonna do is they're just gonna take the mulch, dump it. If you want to just kind of spread it in a nice ring around there. Yep. So just come and take it and kind of push it around. What you want to do is you want to keep the very base of the trunk, or you want to keep the mulch away from the tree because of those water holding properties. If you put too much mulch around the trunk, it holds the water and it then starts to rot around the base of the trunk. And what happens when trees rot and decay? They die, but what else happens? Yes? The bark will start to peel off, but typically what would happen is they'll fall down because the rot and the decay makes the wood weak and it's no longer to support itself, strong enough to support itself. So, awesome. Thank you guys. So, what we want to do is you want to keep it away from the trunk. And there's really no maximum amount of mulch. So you want to keep the mulch about 3 to 4 inches thick. That way it also helps to keep the weeds down. But typically you want to go at least, well, on the younger trees, go out to the drip line, which is where the furthest branch is. So it looks like we've done a good job with that. Obviously on mature trees, you would have a massive ring if you did the drip line. So, usually a good 3 or 4 foot ring will help. Anything is better than nothing. So, while we move over and Melissa is going to be nice enough to give us a little presentation.
Hi everybody, I'm Melissa from Wisconsin Public Service, and I'm a forester for them, and I'm here to tell you about trees and power lines. So does anybody see any power lines around here? Yeah? Where? Over there? Yep. Are there any near the parks? Not in the park? Good, good. Okay, so we have a little bit of a motto at WPS, and the motto goes, right tree, right place. So this is what we kind of preach to people who are wanting to plant trees, and we want them to plant trees away from the power lines. And the reason for that is that about 30% of power outages are caused by trees either falling on the line or growing into the line and things like that. So, when you're wanting to plant trees or your parents want to plant trees, make sure to tell your parents you need to plant the tree away from the power line so that our power doesn't go out and I can watch TV. Okay, so there are a lot of different types of trees, as you probably know. There are smaller trees, kind of like this musclewood, that'll probably only grow to be 25 to 30 feet tall. So you still have to plant the tree about 20 or 25 feet away from the power line so that it doesn't grow up into the power line, right? But then you have bigger trees, like maple trees, that can grow to be about 50 to 60 feet tall sometimes. So then you want to plant the tree even farther back so that when it does get big and tall, it doesn't hit the power lines, okay? All right. So that's it for power lines above the ground, but did you guys know that there are power lines underneath the ground too? Have you guys ever heard of Digger's Hotline? Raise your hand if you've heard of Digger's Hotline. A couple of you. Okay, that's good. So Digger's Hotline is a free service that anyone can call before they want to dig in the ground and plant some trees or any other kind of project that involves digging. And what you do is tell them, hey, I want to dig something or plant some trees. This is where I am. And then they'll come out and they'll mark for you with little flags. You see the little flags over there, those little red ones? Travis had already called Digger's Hotline, and they came out and marked where the power lines were so that we wouldn't dig into them and get shocked. That would be pretty bad, right? So that's how we decided where we're going to plant the trees, and that's really helpful because then they won't also grow into the power lines, right? Okay, so that's it for power lines for now, and to end things off, I have a couple of fun tree facts. So this tree here, as stated earlier, is a musclewood tree. And the reason it got that name is because when it gets bigger, the bark here actually looks like mussels, which is pretty cool. Another reason it's called a musclewood tree is because the wood itself is really, really strong. So strong that people used to make tool handles and bows to shoot arrows out of the wood. And then the other tree that we're planting, the redbud over there, is one of my favorite trees. They're really pretty. It's kind of bare right now, but while it grows a little bit, it'll be full of really bright pink flowers. And it's not only my favorite tree, but George Washington, our first president, also really liked this tree, and he went out from the forest, dug them up, and put them in his own garden. So, pretty neat. And that tree will also only grow to be about 20 feet. So both of these trees are in line with right tree, right place. Pretty perfect for that. Okay. So we also have a little gift for each of you. We've brought some saplings here, 4 different kinds, some baby trees. And I just want to tell you a couple little facts about those. So one of the trees that we have is a Fraser fir, which is a type of conifer tree. And Fraser firs are one of the best Christmas trees that you can get. So if you get one of those, you can plant that and grow it until you want to cut it down and bring it into your house for Christmas. They also smell super duper nice. It's one of my favorite smells. So the next tree we have are eastern white pines. And those trees are one of the largest conifer trees in North America. The largest living white pine tree is about 183 feet, which is like that tree, but 3 times bigger. So that's huge. Another cool thing about these trees is that a lot of different animals really like to eat the cones that fall off of it. So if you plant one of these, you'll have a lot of birds and little squirrels coming into your yard thanking you for the pine cones. The third tree that we have is called an arborvitae, and these trees are pretty cool. They come in all shapes and sizes. They can be really short, really tall, really wide. And the name arborvitae actually means tree of life, and this tree was a really important tree to the Ojibwa tribe as they used it for building materials, medicine, and food. So that is pretty cool. Pretty nice little tree. Then the last tree that we have is a river birch, which is one of Brian's personal favorites. These trees can grow about 80 feet tall. They're really pretty. They have cascading leaves that weep down once they get bigger. And this river birch, when it's young, it has pinkish bark on the outside, and when it gets older, it turns into a pretty reddish color. These trees are also really important for rivers. That's why it's in the name. They grow along the rivers and prevent them from getting wider, and they also provide a home for many animals that live in or around rivers. So when a root goes a little bit over the river and it creates a little cave down there in the river, sometimes trout or other fish and amphibians like to make that their home. So that is pretty neat. You could be giving a home to some little wild animal. So I hope you like the trees that we give you, and I hope you take really good care of them. Thanks for listening to me today, guys.
That was wonderful information. All right, so we still have one more tree to plant. I don't suppose any of you guys want to help. You guys want to, you want to stick around and watch it, or you guys want to go back to school? All right. Well, let's get up. Let's walk over by that other tree and get that thing in the ground. With this, you want to take it completely out of the container. And if you can pull the stick away from it, that's... Now, so this looks a little bit different than the balled and burlap one, right? And so it's all tight and compact, and sometimes what will happen, this one actually isn't too bad. Sometimes when they actually grow the tree in the container, you'll see the roots come down and they'll start growing around the container and start wrapping themselves around it. If you have that, you want to take your shovel or a knife or something sharp and make slits and cut all those little roots, which sounds bad because then yes, you're cutting the roots and you're hampering their nutrient uptake and everything. But what you're doing is you're really saving the tree from killing itself later on down. What happens is those trees will start wrapping around, and as the tree continues to grow and get bigger, so do those roots, and they'll end up suffocating themselves or choking themselves off. So you need to cut those and make sure that, and even with this one, you'll want to scar it a little bit so that the roots grow out into the natural soil or into the native soil that's there. So other than that, it's the planting is pretty much the same. You want to find the root flare, make sure you have your planting depth correct. Who has a favorite tree? What kind? An apple tree. What's your favorite tree?
Probably like a cherry tree or something.
Cherry tree?
Oak.
An oak. Mighty oaks.
Oak tree.
Oak trees.
Dark oak.
A dark oak tree. Sounds like a Minecraft tree.
Oak.
Oak.
Apple tree.
Apple tree.
Apple tree.
Apple tree.
All of them.
All the trees. I like that one.
Olive tree.
All the trees.
Either redbud or willow.
Redbud or willows?
Cherry blossom trees.
Cherry blossoms.
Apple tree.
Apple trees.
Birch.
Getting there. Birch.
Willow tree.
Willows. What kind of tree you like?
Snow watermelon.
Snow watermelon.
Oaks or willows.
Oaks or willows?
Willows.
Willows.
Maple.
Maple trees. That's the first maple. That's
Oak.
oak.
Oak Nation.
Excuse me.
Magnolia tree.
Ooh, a magnolia tree. Those things are beautiful.
Peach trees.
Peach trees
I like birch trees.
and birch trees. Oh,
Mangrove.
a mangrove
Cherry blossom.
and cherry blossom. Those are all awesome trees. All right, so here's one more.
Oh, gummy bear trees.
Oh, gummy bear trees. Ooh. Who remembers what my favorite tree is? Anyone? Yes. The musclewood tree. Yes, good memory. All right, so here's a quick little trivia question for you. When is the best time to plant a tree? Yes. Yep. In the spring. Kneeling up in the spring. In the summer. In the spring. In the summer. Those are all good answers. Those are all really good answers. The correct answer is 20 years ago. This is the best time to plant a tree. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Yes. 30. Well, that would be even better than the 20 years ago.
10 years
Yes.
ago.
10 years ago.
10 years, well, yeah. But it's hard to go back in time. So the second best time to plant a tree?
Now.
It's right now. That's what we're doing. Other than that, yes, typically it's spring and fall.
April.
Summer it gets a little hot. All right. Good. What are some of the foods that we get from trees? What do we get from trees? Yes. Apples,
Cherry and oranges.
cherries, oranges.
Mine was oranges.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Mine was oranges. Oranges, but
Oranges,
Apples.
apples,
pears.
pears. I love pears.
Maple syrup.
Maple, yes, maple syrup.
Bananas.
Bananas,
Pistachio.
pistachios,
Raspberries.
Raspberries are on a bush, but yeah, we'll count it.
Coconut.
Coconuts,
Peach.
peaches,
Vanilla.
vanilla beans, yeah, we'll count it.
Eggplants.
Eggplant,
Only talking
eggplant. Eggplant, I believe, is a vegetable.
Olives.
Olives do come from a tree.
Oh, peaches, peaches, peaches.
Peaches are delicious.
Sap.
Sorry, what?
Sap.
Sap, yes, for maple syrup.
Watermelon.
Watermelon unfortunately does not grow on a tree, but I wish it did.
Avocado.
Avocados.
When I went to Florida, I saw a banana tree.
Banana trees, yep.
Mine's an apple tree because I have apple trees in my backyard.
Apple trees.
Coconut.
Coconuts. Yes, those are all. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Those are all good. All right. What are some of the other benefits? What else do we get from trees other than food?
I like how the nutrients run through their bodies.
How the nutrients. Yep. That's it. Hold on. Let's see. Yes.
I like air.
Air is. Who doesn't like air?
I love air. I need air.
All right, that's good. Nobody raised their hand.
You need air.
Syrup.
Maple syrup.
Doesn't like you.
All right, we're still going to be respectful for everybody else to answer.
Wood.
Yep, wood from shelters. If you look at the ground around you. What else is on the ground?
Grass.
Grass, leaves. All right, what is directly behind me?
Dirt. Tree. And dirt.
What is?
A tree.
All right. What do you guys enjoy on a hot, sunny summer day?
Lemonade. Playing outside. Lemonade.
When you're too hot and you're trying to get out of the sun? Shade. Yes. So these guys are just gonna throw some mulch on top of it, get it staked out.